G'day, this is Marty Ware from youtube.com/martysgarden and www.pottedvegetablegarden.com. And I've got a fairly unique video for you today. I'm in a group called Container Gardening and Vertical Gardening, and it's run by a man named Willem. And if we just go down to here, I just want to show you who the owner is. Here he is, Willem van Kotham. I think I've pronounced it right. Hey Willem, how you going? I hope you're watching the video. Listen, thanks for this great group. I really enjoy being in here when I get the time to come in between jobs and taking care of my daughter and the whole things. Get pretty busy, but I did something in here that I just wanted to trial because I have the YouTube masterclass as well, and I teach people how to get traffic to YouTube and stuff. But my main passion is gardening basically and growing food at home, and I wanted to create a little bit of a challenge inside this group to see how the challenge went and to answer some questions along the way about what people have asked in the challenge. So I'm going to read it out to you. It says, "Hi my friends, Marty Ware here from the Potted Vegetable Garden." It's got my link. "I have a quick question for our group. Can you please tell me below what are the biggest issues you face when container gardening? I would love to know. Also, what would be really cool if members could provide some answers to these problems too. Let's consider this like a group challenge. I really look forward to hearing what everyone has to say." And yes, within 36 hours I got a fair bit of interaction in here, and I'm going to go over what we got. So Brian White, "The biggest challenge is watering. I'm setting up a bubble pump and air filter pump system to keep everything damp all day long." And so watering seems to be a bit of an issue here. And William Arangaya, please excuse me if I don't get the names right here. "Yes, watering, lots of small containers." Okay, so there's another one. Next, "It's hard to keep anything alive in containers when the temperature is above 100 degrees Fahrenheit." So it's all mostly about water here so far. One of the questions, so I'm just going to cover the one about watering in containers. Now, a lot of people, including myself in the beginning times, started using a lot of little containers, and they dry out really fast. And the problem is then you've got to get water up to them, and when containers dry out quickly, the soil it expands and contracts and stuff, and then when it shrinks, it's really hard to get that water back into the pot, so you've got to seep the whole thing in a bucket, let all the bubbles come through and go again. But that can be a problem. You don't want to have to do that all the time. So one way is to get nice big pots. Now I want to show you a big pot that I use. I'm just going to go into Fruit Trees Container Gardens in my Pinterest board here, and this is a big pot, and it's close to nearly a metre high when you stand it up, and which is nearly 3 feet and about 2.5 feet across. And it's got this grid here inside, which and then some little foots which go down into the water, and there's a tank down below where you can put your hand, and it's very strong plastic, and it holds a whole avocado tree at the moment as we're talking. But you can create little mini gardens in there that will pretty much do everything. So you can have some tomatoes, some lettuce, some herbs and things all growing in there, and you've got the tank down below and lots of soil so it doesn't dry out. So that's one way. Another way is to get big buckets and make your own, such as to put a you put it like an ice cream container down the bottom, you turn it upside down so the top of the ice cream container is like that. You get your big drum, you cut out your foam to be the right size, and you sit it on top so it's nice and tight, and then you've got a reservoir about yay deep, so it's sitting on top and it can't fall down because the ice cream container is holding it up. You cut some holes in there, you run a cloth wick along the top, and then extend down into the water, and that will keep it nice and wet also. Another way is to use water crystals, and also you can use a wetting agent to water it down with a hose, your potting mix and stuff, or you can water your plants with a wetting agent at the beginning and the end of the season. So there's some ways to get around the issues of the water problems with your pots. Also, clay pots will evaporate really quickly, so because they're porous, and so yeah, they're a little bit, they do look nice, but they can dry out a lot faster. So anyway, let's go back to Facebook here and go through. Now, one of my questions that I asked was, what's the best way to sterilise your pots without having to use bleach? And I got a great answer here from Ag Pals. He said hydrogen peroxide will work very well without leaving undesirable residue, because the smell I don't like gives me a headache. And I use a wick system with much success. So that's fantastic. He's answered 2 questions there. And I'm going to go down to another question here. Cynthia Steckers. Keeping things wet enough, I grew dwarf apple trees espalier in a raised bed with vegetables, and I think they depleted the soil nutrients. So I wouldn't say that it would have depleted the soil nutrient. It's just a matter of just keeping the nutrient up, and mulching regularly as well with good quality mulch, so it's breaking down and feeding the soil at the same time as the nutrients are being taken away. Because a lot of times if we take that leaf and stuff away, and it's not recycling back to the soil, so you've got to recycle the soil again and keep that nutrient and microbial activity just below the mulch. Keep it all fluffy, nice and light, the mulch and the moisture in there, and you'll find that you won't lose the soil nutrients. The next one I want to get into now, we're going down into here, is Cheryl Bisiglia. I would love to learn more about making my own simple design self-watering pots. I have lots of big plastic pots, but keep them watered can be an issue. So it's like I said before, you just get the ice cream container, turn it upside down, foam, cut out a piece of foam from a foam box, cut some holes in it, make sure it's nice and tight, put your wick down into it, or you can, there's other ways you can do that. That's the simplest way that I find, and the quickest way, just using recycled materials. Make sure that you put a hole down the bottom as well. If you fill it up or it rains too much, the water can escape, and you can check with your finger how much water is in that content. So look, basically I think I've answered all the questions to the group challenge in Willem Cotham's. Oh, Karen, what are you doing there, darling? Here she is, being nice and quiet while making the video. Yeah, I think I've answered all the questions, and this is a great group in here. Come in here and stay active. I'll try and come in as much as I can. I'm just about to go and study again full time for small business management, so I'm going to be very busy, but I will try and get back in here and keep these questions going if I can, and so people can get answers to solutions that they're looking for. Alright, so listen, come and see us again at youtube.com/martysgarden, or go across to www.pottedvegetablegarden.com. There's also a free members area where you can access content that is all in audio, and there's some great tips there for people that are starting to be beginner gardeners that are starting to container garden. Alright, have a great day, and I'll see you at the next video shortly. Bye for now.
Daddy?
Yep.